Hello everyone. Hello everyone and welcome back. My apologies for what's going on. Unfortunately, I have lost access to the proper controls to operate our TV cameras. However, we are going to have to stick with the helicam just now. We can see more of what's going on this way. And thank you very much for your patience, but thanks again for joining us back as we'll join lap 13. The front three have changed slightly. We have Vortel still at first, Bushra second. Virtual Racing League is in P3 and the T1 SR car of Anderson's in 4th, Milden in the Bentley, the 128 Bentley 5th, Massa 6th. Berger 7th, Postal in 8th, the FRL admin team. The 214 BMW in 9th, 1 second slower Miluka in the BMW 10th. Super Hutch Racing in 11th, Clocati RT in 12th, Iron Brew Racing 13th. Tomcats Motorsport in 14th, pulling away now from African Thunder, an 8-second gap opened up. Jorgensen with that damage sustained in the first couple of laps, holding on. Rees in 17th, Arsenio in 18th. I don't know if maybe they've had an accident and had to pit, or maybe they've done a double stint, I'm not 100% sure. Beberman in the second T1 SR car in 19th. Jaki Van Eck has taken over from Jakinen, 2 laps down but still running. Majowski, maybe they've had an accident as well. They're not 5 laps down in the pits. Hopefully they're still sticking at it too. And of course myself on commentary, still here. So let's run up with the leaders, a 6-second gap. As we're now watching Bushra in the Audi P3 6 seconds behind. A lot of gaps now just beginning to form as the drivers settle into their stints. This appears to be the closest battle that we have on track. The African Thunder car still in Vermaak and Jorgensen for Finbo Racing, the 21 and 16 cars, still fighting each other as they come through the Fangio chicane. And that's a move round the outside. Round the outside, that's an important corner to make sure you get the move right. But the door was left open. And Jorgensen flies on through. Still a 10-second gap to the guys up there in front. Can that BMW use the slipstream? The Ferrari has some tremendous straight line speed, but the BMW runs wide around Blanchimont. Maybe a little bit of the effect from the dirty air off the back of that Ferrari, but it looks like that move has now been done. Now Jorgensen up into 15th place. Let's come and watch this battle now. It looks like Miulka is slowly closing in on the back of the FRL admin team. Thank you again for coming back to join us. We do apologise for the technical issues we have been having this evening. Again, I will reiterate, we've lost camera controls, or full camera controls. We're limited to what the pad, the controller, can offer us. These two again, very close through the Lecombe chicane. And this is a battle I think is going to last the entire stint. These two putting on a fantastic show for us. Arsenio for the French Connection car was running in P3, now down in 18th. They're 2 laps down. Maybe they've had a damage, maybe they've went for a pit stop for some fresh tyres, but the driver doing a double stint, we're not too sure. I think we might be able to have an interview here. Have we got anyone with us? We have Lewis in the booth.
Hello, how are you doing?
Hello Lewis, thank you for joining us there.
No worries.
How are you doing, more to the point?
Well, it's been a bit of a stressful first 40 minutes really. We had started P5. Mark unfortunately clipped the wall when he was like right on the back of BV Racing. So we're carrying about 18 seconds worth of damage at the moment. And we're just dropping like a stone. We've gone down to P9 now, and we've got Carl 415 all over the back of us.
Yep. We've seen the BMW slowly reeling you in the last couple of laps now.
Yeah, we're just trying to get to the first pit stop and just fix the car. Then we're just trying to get the car to the stop really.
Yeah, just eke it out until we get to the point where it's just at the right point. Just early. Late enough that you can call it a stint, but early enough you can get everything fixed.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Okay. So, I mean, this is I don't know about yourself. I love this track personally. It's one of my favourite tracks.
Yeah.
Is there a part of the track that you particularly hold, like you love it, like any particular part that you're fond of?
I think probably the middle sector, like the car is quite stable throughout, but I love driving the middle sector where it's just like left and right handers just coming up at you. There's no kind of rest, is there really, until you get on the back straight.
The fast sort of sweeping long corners, they are all cracking to drive. I love the track as a whole in general. I like Blanchimont.
Yeah.
One of my favourite corners. I mean, in these cars anyway, it's an absolute challenge and such a thrill to get it right if you're flat out.
Oh yeah, very much so.
Oh, that was close.
Yeah, I was just watching you.
Yeah, I heard the sort of stutter in your voice there.
I did say to him, right, I'll be back with you in 5 minutes. Keep the car clean. I want to come back to a car in one piece, but hopefully he's struggling, to be fair, Mark. The car's not feeling great at the moment, so it's a shame because our pace was really good. Like we were doing mid 20s race pace, and we were probably on the same pace really as Anderson, Milden.
Towards the lower end, potentially a podium. A little bit wider through El Rouge Radion. Should keep the speed up though. So I'm just going to cut you off just to watch this, sorry.
Yeah, no worries.
He's on the slipstream pull at the back, taking the toe. I think you're safe. I think you're safe this time.
Yeah, never allowed.
You're fine. Fine this time. Okay,
so yeah, no, I'm sure Mark will tell you what happened when he comes on the stream later on.
great, yeah, because I think we missed it when we were fighting our technical issues, our gremlins. I think we just missed what happened.
Yeah, no
it's been
worries.
generally quite clean. There's been a couple of sort of door scrapes, but generally speaking, everyone's been quite clean. So hopefully we can continue that one. And you guys are in the closest battle on track just now. So
yeah, it's been good, and just a quick shout out as well to everyone listening. Just thank you for taking part in this first series of driver swaps. It's been really, really good for 4 races, and yeah, hopefully see everyone on track for Indy next month for the 8 hour.
Yes, hopefully I will be on track as well. I'll have a stint doing both comms booth and a stint in the car.
Yeah, nice one, mate. Alright, well, nice talking to you, and thank you for doing the stream tonight as well, mate. Appreciate it.
You're very welcome. Thank you for participating, I guess. And hopefully we'll see you in the car and you'll give me something to talk about.
Cheers, mate. Take care.
See you in a bit, Lewis. Thank you. Cheers. So that was Lewis from the FRL admin team, the 214 car, as we've been watching these guys go around the track now into the bus stop chicane, and every time there's a braking zone, that BMW, the 415, just gets a little bit closer, but Conway's run it a little bit wide onto the AstroTurf on the exit off the bus stop, taking the defensive line. Does the beat? They don't. They hold station. They're thinking they're going to get the drive out of last source down the hill, and this could be the move here. As we heard, we want the car to remain in one piece. They're going side by side in the illusion. They almost touch. Both of them running very wide. They'll need to be careful they don't do that too many times, or they could incur the wrath of the virtual stewards with a drive-through or potentially a stop-go penalty. It looks like there's a little bit of a gap now opened up there, but we've got a very close couple of cars. Now these two are the closest battle on track just now. I'm going to periodically try these camera controls, but I do not hold out hope. We've got Edwards almost in the wall coming out of Lacombe there. Very close one. Very close. Everyone seems to have settled now into their stint, and we've got a car running wide there, African Thunder. The tyres now beginning to get a little bit thin, a little bit hairy on the brakes there. Reese still running down there 17th, 2 laps down. Don't know if they've made any pits, may have been involved in an accident. And behind them we have the French Connection, who have just been lapped by Anderson in the 242 Mercedes. That's them now quite a bit down, and really under pressure to try and make something work. Hopefully that is just the extent of this gargantuan pit lane here at Spa, and not running any damage or anything. Berriman in the Aston Martin also running behind them. So if that's how close Berriman is to the French Connection, they're not actually that far behind, and could be within the chance. And again, I just want to come back to this battle here for the final position in the top 10. We're watching these two BMWs very close with each other, piling on the pressure. Let's see if we can get someone in this booth here. Nope. Stick with this battle just now, because again this does seem to be the closest one on track, but we do have a couple of the close cars again round here. This is an interesting situation because we have Anderson in that 242 Mercedes, and we have got Arsenio in the French connection, the red Mercedes. Now the red Mercedes has been lapped, but they are on fresher tyres and are definitely faster. They are able to unlap themselves, that is allowed, but they must do so without making any contact whatsoever. And now we're coming to the back of it. Oh, it's so close on the brakes. I think that is Jamie Rees for Fresh Sim Racing being shown the blue flags. They will want to get out of the way for Anderson, but they will not want to get out of the way for the French connection, and it looks like they've maybe let them both through. That's for position, and the SBR car, the 128 Bentley, in there behind as well, trying to lap. Thankfully they were aware, and they are putting the pressure now on Anderson. Those two Mercedes really are trying to get every inch out of this legendary track. I'm going to have to pull up to the back of this battle once again, because we can see just how close they are. The tyres on that blue BMW have maybe finally lost traction, and that's allowed. That's allowed Meluka through into P10. The FRL admin team dropping down another position. We do know they are running quite a bit of damage, so they're doing the best they can to keep the pace. They've got 8 seconds to the car behind them. So maybe they'll have a little bit of respite and just be able to eke out those tyres to the first stint. We do think that potentially most drivers will be pitting round about the 1 hour mark, and at that point it could become pretty frantic. I think we've got another car there in the pit lane, the number 6 car. That's what's got another car in the pit lane there. There's Weird dropping down to 15th. The 2 cars that are in the pit lane, got Majewski and Kremer. It looks like have thrown in the towel for the day, and we'll see where they come out. French connection has now unlapped himself. Anderson maybe let them go because they have got their own battle now. They have got their hands full. This is for P4. Got that Bentley, the 128 Bentley, and the 242 Mercedes. Now fighting each other. I think we will just stick with this for a couple of minutes. Do apologise there, just trying to make sure we can see if we can get another interview potentially. Don't worry, nothing's happened in the time we've been away. We're still watching Anderson now take the pressure from Milden there. Hello, and we are joined by, I believe, the second driver for SBR.
Yeah, almost wasn't tonight, by the looks of it.
Oh, that close was it?
Yeah, very, very close. Yeah, definitely. I was meant to be doing the qualifying for this race. As you know, like, we all have family problems now and again, so my daughter wouldn't go to her bed, and then eventually I was like, right to the wife, I need to get into the garage, and her face just froze and was like, you're not going to believe what I'm going to tell you. And I was like, what's that? And she goes, I've left the key in the pram, and the pram's in the nursery. Yeah, so I'm not joking, yeah, I have broken into my garage, I've took the whole door off and broke into my garage to get onto this race, and honestly it was stress that we did not need. So Ben's done a fantastic job. He got the car into the top 10, I think it was in qualifying, but we had a bit of issue in qualifying because on the last lap it was like the game wasn't set to a timer properly, and we never got to finish our flying lap at the end, which would have looked to probably be about P6, but we can't complain with the start so far. We're in a really good position.
Now you say that, I was watching your lap, I believe. I was actually watching you live, and the timer came up, and I couldn't believe it. I thought that looked like a very good lap, from what I could see anyway.
Yeah, it was like sort of. I think Ben was saying he was like up 4/10s at the time, and he was coming along like the back straight, and I was like, look, just try and finish the lap, and I might register it, but unfortunately it never. And I think Thomas, the Jet team who is running P3 right now, they had the same issue. So the main thing about qualifying, we would have been much more worried if the French connection got pulled, because that would have put them in a little bit of a good start and an extra point for that going into the championship as well.
Yeah, because it's between you guys for the top spot, and you've got a little bit of a cushion there. I have had difficulty actually finding the championship order, if I'm being completely honest, but I do know it's you guys in first with a bit of a cushion to the French connection.
Yes, I think we had a 25-26 point lead to them guys, and I think like so for us to be champions, we need that top 4. But if they got pole, fastest lap and won the race, we would definitely need that top 4. So we are in a good position, but as you can see, anything could go wrong in a race, and unfortunately the French connection, I just saw that on my list.
Sorry.
I just saw that as well. Unfortunately the French connection had an accident at Top Rouge, which has really kind of told to us a little bit. That's where they got their damage from, that's where they're a lap down.
That's good, because I missed that one while I was messing around with the camera.
Yeah, it was Top Rouge. I think that Morex, who's driving the car right now, got a twitch and went into the wall and got big damage, so they were in the pits for a long time, unfortunately, which is a shame, because at the end of the day you want that battle going right to the end, but look, it's endurance racing, it's not over yet, anything can happen.
It's a long race, it's a long race.
The main thing in racing to do is just don't give up and just keep going. But right now we're in a good position. Ben's just taking it easy, bringing the car back. I'm jumping in the car in the next 5 minutes, which will take me a few laps to get up to speed, because I've done no practice because I couldn't get on. So again, that gives me a bit more breathing space with the situation with French connection. So we're looking hopefully to get a podium. That'd be quite good to get a podium. Virtual racing and P3 are quite high up now. So
there's the move.
Now. I think so now. There we go. Good job by Ben. But yeah, we can't complain right now. We're doing pretty well, and we just hopefully continue to the rest of the race.
Yep, and it's definitely good for any neutral person watching, because we're watching you guys come back through the field. It's been great to watch. The one thing I will say that you will not have an issue with this evening is being too hot, because you have got a lot of air conditioning going on just now, with that garage door being off.
Well, but I see the garage door's off. I've managed to get it back put on while Ben's been doing these laps, and if anyone wants some motorbikes and that, they're welcome to come to my house. So and take some. So no, I'll get it all replaced tomorrow. But yeah, that's the joys of rushing about last minute.
Yeah, of course. Well, I'm going to let you get back, since you're going back in the car. I'm going to let you get to it. Thank you for coming on and talking to us. It makes my job a lot easier. And good luck for the rest of the race, and we'll see you where you end up.
Keep the good work up, mate. You're doing a good job. Thank you.
Thanks very much. Take care. So that was the second driver for SBR, the current 4th place team, the 128 Bentley, who we just seen there get past Anderson in the 242 Mercedes, the T1 SR car. Still running in 5th, very solid and consistent, but that's a very good point. We're now going to get to see this Bentley plough its way through the field, and that's something I'm looking forward to see, just how high up they can get. They've got 13 seconds to the pink Mercedes in front of them, and no, it's not a Force India car or a Racing Point. That is the next car down the road for them. It looks like we've got a couple of lap cars in between there, and this is going to be the interesting thing. They are going to have to lap 2nd place in the championship to get themselves in that position. Maybe we'll get to the pit stops before then, not sure, but the P1 now pulled out a 5-second gap. What a race, they're having a commanding lead. It's good stuff, and you do like to see it. So what I'm going to do just now is the little hack that I have found to get myself a camera change and just get myself a little bit closer to the action. As we're now watching 2nd place, the high octane racing car, the number 3 Audi. A little bit of dirt on that car, maybe they've been off the track a couple of times. Thought they were diving into the pit lane there, just making their way through that corner. Anderson still holding on to the back of that Bentley, but that Bentley is carving its way through the field. It really has done a fantastic job. Let's have a little run through the field and see how everyone's doing. Give everybody a little bit of screen time as we come on watch Berger. In that 95 car, the Ferrari. And they have now dived into the pit lane. So that's P6 gone to the pit lane. And they've got Conway there, it looks like maybe just lapped Berberman there in the Aston Martin. I've lost that camera again, what an absolute pain this has been, I do apologise. Do apologise for this, but we'll need to avoid the cars going into the pit lane. Need to avoid watching them going to the pit lane rather. And they've got the admin team into the pit lane now as well. They're now driving through the pit lane to make their driver change. Berger just in front of them. Vortel, I think, has just got himself ahead of a lapped runner. I'm not quite sure who exactly it is. Is that a car coming out of the pit lane there? Had the driver change there for the number 6 Ferrari Ducati racing team. Very bumpy on that pit exit, very bumpy. Now Jamie Rees has handed over to Parrish for Fresh Sim Racing, the 108 BMW. And Jaki Vanek hot on the tail there, looking to move up. Berberman hot on the heels. This is 4th position. Berberman looking to overtake Tom Katz Motorsport. Edmonds taking over Iron Brew Racing in the 204 Audi as well. And the leader is into the pit lane. We have the leader in the pit lane now. And second, 1 and 2 in the pit lane together. They both come in. We'll need to keep an eye on that one, see what order they come out. Now a race in the pit lane between these two. Now I'm going to stick with this helicopter cam because it does seem to be the best one for the job. We've got a stop-go penalty for car number 16. Who is number 16? That's Jorgensen in that Ferrari who's been speeding in the pit lane. That'll be a stop go, that'll need to be served, but we've got all the first 5 in the pit lane, and the first one to move is the leader. Vortel's on their way out. How long till Butcher makes their way out? The number 3 car comes out in second still. That pink Mercedes, Milden and Anderson all now in a race in the pits, and the pink Mercedes makes their way out. It's a good stop from them. Milden now moves out too. Anderson's going to be very, very, very close behind. I don't think they've lost any positions. No one else staying out any longer. We've now got African Thunder coming in the pit lane. They're going to do a driver swap, and we're going to see Springbok Gamer take over that car. Anderson now out of the pits. Careful on that white line. No one else seeming to get a penalty. Massa now in the start of that straight takes the position ahead of African Thunder, the African Thunder team. Predator moving out as well. Berger, they're moving very slowly. Are they just letting a lapped car in front there? That was a very slow moving Mercedes. Now this is interesting. Where are the French Connection going to come out in relation to these other teams? We still have Arsenio, that's Morex, in that Mercedes. Where are they going to be coming out when this all is settled? We've got the admin team. We've got Lewis Robinson, Stuart Hutchinson side by side. Cannot seem to separate these two when they're racing on track. This is going to be some battle. Christensen is now back in the pit lane to serve the stop-go penalty. That will see them drop down the order. And this is what I'm saying by, if you have an incident, please stay in the game. Please get your car repaired and get back out there, because you do not know what's going to happen to others. Beverman is all over the back as well. Off. Is it? We've got a driver change there as well. I've got Moreira in the 45 BMW. Berryman hunting them down. Christensen back in the pit lane. That, I think, is going to allow Jackie Van Eck for Team Finnith, the 909 Audi, through. We're also going to see the pink Mercedes put a lap, I think. Yep. There goes the pink Mercedes, and we're also going to see Van Eck go through as well. How far back is Paris? They're all the way back at Pujon. I don't think that move, that's going to be enough for them. Let's see, we've got Popisil. Oh, look now, oh wow, these two are close as well. I don't know, has that move just been done? I think it has. I think that's Arsenio moved away past Czech Console Racing. French Connection up into P9, or is it the other way? Either way, this is the battle for 9th. C Knight. I think that's Vantage making their return to FRL, driving the T1 SR car. That's Christensen for Flybo. Oh. Oh, that looked bad. That looks like a disconnection for the T1 SR car. They were running so well. They were up there in 5th. The T1 SR car does appear to have lost its connection. Hopefully they can get back on ASAP, but that did not look good for them. But one person who that is going to look good for is Poole, who will move up, well, not move up rather, but have that pressure relieved. Now only 7 seconds behind VRL, Virtual Racing League, that pink Mercedes, and chasing them down. But let's come back to these two. The FRL admin team, Super Hutch Racing, 214 and the 52 BMW drivers. Let's stick with this one for a couple of corners, see what's happening here. Hopefully we'll find out what's happened there to the T1 SR car. Oh, we've got them back now. They're in the pit lane. C-Knight's back in the pits. Down into 12th. Come on, let's see you get back out there. You guys had some pace. Let's see if you can keep it up. If anyone in the live chat does know what happened there, please let me know. These two very close. That BMW of the FRL admin team has now been repaired. What a fantastic evening of racing we're having here. So let's, in this little lull, let's have a breakdown of what's happened so far. Let's recap the race. We've got the 99 McLaren, VRL Racing, that green McLaren, out in P1, took pole position, and has not let go of first. High Octane Racing, the number 3 Audi, just keeping touch there, still in second, only 6 seconds behind. The pink Mercedes has lost out a little bit. They qualified 4th, have moved away up to 3rd, 12 seconds behind, but again still within touching distance. You don't know what's going to happen. Cool has taken over off that Bentley, that 128 Bentley. Only 6 seconds behind them, just making their way through the lap traffic. I think Jackie Van Eyck will move over. Very experienced driver, knows what they're doing. Good stuff, we'd like to see that. No holding up of car leaders as you're being lapped. But it will be interesting to watch them make their way through the field. We've got Massa now in to P5. That's a great race they've had, showing good pace, 20 seconds behind, but in P5. Predator Racing Team, Bet's now taking over. That black, again, that black, I don't know what it is, but that shiny sort of chrome effect for on that Ferrari, that black colour, that looks fantastic around this track, the black and red. They're running very well in 6th. Berger in P7, 1 second slower. Again, remains to be seen just exactly how much slower, but we'll see how they got on today as well. Popisil for Czech Console Racing in the blue and white Aston. Number 68 car, 10 seconds behind them. The French Connection back in the pits, and it looks like they've had a huge crash. The front of that Mercedes, that bonnet, sticking up there. It looks like they maybe hit the front of the car. We missed what's happened. They're coming into pit, and we might see now a driver swap, as Arsenio has been in that car that Mercedes for now 70 minutes. It's been one hell of a stint by them. Hutchinson has got it, that Super Hutch racing car, the BMW, in front of the FRL admin team as we were watching the Mercedes trundle down the pit lane. Hutchinson closing the gap on the underbraking, taking a lot of curb on the inside there. We'll see if they're able to continue that pace. It's only 3/10, so I mean we'll stick with this one just for a little while before we continue to run down the field. I think that one's now settled down a little bit. We have Gedman who's taken over for Iron Brew Racing, the 204 Audi. Don't know Gedman to have driven the Audi before, so we'll see how they get on in that car. Tomcats Motorsport, Morelia in the car, the 45 BMW. Berryman just in behind them, closing the gap now, putting the pressure on. It's been a good stint from Berryman. We have now got Klassen in the African Thunder car, that Springbok Gamer, for those of you who know his handle. Jackie Van Eck making their way, and we've got a stop-go penalty for Arsenio, a stop-go penalty. It just, things go from bad to worse for the championship challengers. That will need to be served as they're moving down the order. That could potentially put Christensen. Well, that has put Christensen ahead. That's going to maybe put Parrish and Fresh Sim Racing within touching distance off the current second place team in the championship. Anderson looks to have taken over the Mercedes from Knight. Don't know what's happened there. Definitely an unstable connection. Hopefully it doesn't come to bite them in the back, because they were running very well. Bitterman for Kokati Racing Team down there in 20th. Still going again. We've got the penalty in front, and this is what I meant by just please keep battling. Rajewski, Kremer, if you are watching, please come back to us. We want you, we love you, please come back to race. We want the cars on the track. So that's our recap. We've still got these two, it looks like very close to each other. This is the closest battle on the track just now. I'm going to take a quick commentary break. We're going to leave the action on these two for a minute or so, just while I catch my breath. And we're back just in time to watch these two get very, very close. Almost makes the move. The admin team almost down the inside there of Super Hutch Racing. Super Hutch Racing having none of it. And we've got Virtual Racing League, that pink Mercedes, back in the pits. I don't know if they've had any damage or what there, but they're in the pit lane and they've moved out of third place. That's moved cool into P3. Into the podium positions. 24 seconds behind the leaders. Let's see if maybe they can eat into that as well. The championship leaders moving their way through the pack. Genuine, I think maybe that Mercedes had a big accident. Came into the pits and then got the stop-go penalty, trying to minimise the time they had in the pits. I think Anderson's now went through as well. The stop-go has been cleared, but Anderson in the T1 SR car battling back. I mean, they were in the top 5. They have the pace to go today, so let's see how much further they can go. Hopefully Knight's not got too much of an internet connection and can get back in. Hi Ben, thanks for messaging us there on the chat. I think you may have an invite to the comms box, but let me just have a double check for you. Yeah, Ben, just honestly, whenever you feel you're up to it, they can get you in for a little chat. You're watching your teammate just now anyway, so these two now very close. I think this is for the lead. Yeah, this is for the lead, so we'll just stick with this one just now. These two, they're all very close with each other. These two leaders are very similar on pace, almost nothing to separate them as they both fly through El Rouge along the Kennel Straight. And this is definitely getting a lot closer now. This is getting very tense. These two leaders, we are 1 hour and 20 minutes into this race. And we have still got these two so close to each other. Now within a second of each other, we've got third place. Battled through the pack from 10th up into third. 26 seconds behind. Berger's done a fantastic job in that 1 second slower car. I've lost track a little bit of who's pitted when, who's done how many pit stops. These two running side by side as well for 8th and 9th. Gedman up into the top 10 for Iron Brew Racing. Berryman pushing the T1 SR car. Great recovery from them, and 12 African Thunder behind them. Jackie Van Eck doing a solid stint in the Audi as well. Christensen has already had a penalty. This is for position, not effective position, but for position. Anderson pushing their way through the pack to catch up. Let's move back up to these leaders as they're getting very close now within half a second of each other. This one is close, and I think these two are going to go back and forward all evening. I think, given the activity in my ear, I think we've maybe got somebody joined us in the comm box.
How you doing, mate? You alright? It's Ben.
Ben. Hi Ben, how you doing?
Yeah, all good.
How was your first stint then? Because that looked good from my point of view.
Yeah, that could have gone much better. Yeah, it's just like the first lap was stressful because there's cars everywhere. People like, you know,
Yeah, it's chaotic in the mid
craziness. Yeah, you said it. But yeah, it was settled into a rhythm. We just like took no risks, and if there was an opportunity to overtake, we took it. So it was,
yeah, we seen you
really
overtake
ideal.
on Anderson round the hairpin
Yeah,
as well.
yeah.
I think they just ran a little bit wide, and thank you very much. Down, stick it tight to the apex. Away you went.
It's easier.
It was good.
It's easier when it's like that.
Yeah, when they get in the way for you, it's such an easy job if these cars were just not in the way for you. I've asked everyone this.
Okay.
I love this track. This is my favourite track, like in the world. There's so many good parts to it. Do you have a particular part of this track that stands out to you?
I think this track still has challenges where like other modern tracks or classic tracks have been destroyed, you know. So
Yes.
I think like Pouon, obviously watching a Formula 1 car go around there, it still looks impressive, you know. But yeah, I like where Sean is really right now, really, with the piff path and like that bit as well. Just trying to keep the car neat and tidy through there is always a bit of a challenge. But that seems to be where we're pretty fast at the moment, so just losing quite a lot on the straights. So, but Eau Rouge and Radion are the obvious ones, so fast through there, and you just, that's where everyone's crashing by the looks of it.
Yeah, it was very dangerous at the top of the hill there at Radion. I like Blanchimont personally. When you get that right, it's just so satisfying. I can hear myself in the background there.
Sorry.
I know I hate the sound of my own voice like everyone does. So, I mean, we're watching Ben, not your Ben, sorry. We're watching Cool out there now. All I've seen there is you guys just reel everyone in. What are the expectations? Do you think you can get the win today?
Well, I think we've reached where we're going to reach, to be honest with you. The two guys in front are doing really impressive lap times, and with all the problems for the French connection, there's no point in us charging after them. We're just literally got to tick down the clock now and try and do what we can. We haven't got the pace to run with those guys. We know we haven't, so
okay.
I think second place team have got their faster driver to come as well, so I expect them to go on and win the race. But yeah, fair play to the Czech guys is it the Czech guys I think that win in the race?
Yeah, we've got VRL in front, but we've got second place. They're honestly within half a second of each other now.
Yeah,
They've closed right up.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the guys I used to race with in their Czech league, so Robo Franca and I think it was who took the first stint, I can't remember, but yeah, top guys, very fast. So see if they can hang on to the Audi, but I think they'll have a bigger test when I think it's Tom. Is it Tom that goes in the car after?
I'll be honest, I've lost
and
track.
He's lightning fast, so he's really impressively fast. So I expect them to go on and win the race. But we'll see.
Yeah, I've actually really enjoyed it, apart from my technical issues I've had with my cheap keyboard getting thrown out the window after this race. But you know, aside from that, it's been actually really good to watch. You're absolutely right in what you're saying with the French connection having all the problems. I don't know. I missed out their first crash, but it sounded like quite a bad one. The second time they had half their bonnet off. It didn't look very good for them. We'll see what they can do, because they have obviously got the pace.
Yeah, I think the second one's probably vital, because that's put them 2 laps down, I think, roughly. So the first one was Radion, obviously lost that over the top there, it's so easy to do. And the second one, it looked like it was Blanchimont from the circuit map that I could see. So
the 2 corners we highlighted.
Yeah, they're obviously Tokyo drifting in places where they shouldn't be, but it's a shame, because we wanted obviously a fight right to the end, like there have been pretty much at every race we've done. So it's always been decided in the last 20-30 minutes. So you know, fair play to him, and it's a shame Craig couldn't make the race, to be honest. And it's a bit harsh on Morix to obviously just be dropped in at the deep end to try and help them, but obviously did the best he could. He's got a change for the lead there.
Oh, no, they've lost it. Oh, I may be slightly ahead of you. Sorry, I've spoiled it for you.
no, it's fine.
See, that can only help you guys, because they're going to lose time fighting each other, and that's I guess what you guys want. If
I mean,
they're going to make
fighting. They're fighting each other doing 220.1s.
Which
I've
is
got a keyboard as well, so I can check. And then we're like a second slower, so it's not going to happen.
Yeah, well, I'm rooting for you guys. Obviously, you've got the name in your team.
Yeah.
It'd be great to see you win the last one, but obviously the podium will do great, and you're leading the championship. Yeah. So we'll see how things run out. I'm really looking forward to see how this runs out, to be honest.
Well, yeah, just obviously we all appreciate you doing this for us. Needed someone to step in, and you stood up to it, so thanks for that. And thanks to Tom as well for doing the other races.
Yeah, of course, yeah. Happy to jump in. It's the end of the day. I would much have preferred to be racing, but somebody's got to do it. Here we are. I am actually enjoying it. I'm enjoying it a lot better than I thought I would, to be honest. So,
as long as there's something to talk about, it's alright.
That's the thing. It's just eking out the conversations. See how we go. But you know what? You guys are giving me something to talk about. The leaders are giving me something to talk about. So it's all.
Yeah, in the right battle.
Yeah. It's all going well.
But yeah.
How did you cope with Cool coming in late there? Were you all right with the qualifying?
Oh gosh, don't. He does this. He does something every week to try and. I swear he does it on purpose. But it was honestly, to be honest with you, it didn't look like we were going to race, because he just couldn't get into his garage, because he's saying his wife's lost the key, but we always blame our wives, right?
Yeah, I mean, it could be intentional. She could have hidden the key. We don't know.
Yeah, it probably was intentional actually. Sorry, Rachel. But yeah, I said whatever you do, you have to get into that garage, break the door down if you have to. I don't care, because there's no way we're not.
Pay for your door.
Yeah, I'll pay for a new lock. So I think he's cut his lock off in the end. I know the things you got to do to sim race, but oh,
I know. I'm going round later to take his gear.
I think if it wasn't for ESSA and it wasn't, you know, what we're trying to achieve for him, I don't think we would have done it. But we got to do this for him.
Yeah, well, great sentiment there. Echo that completely. And if things continue to go this way, if it finishes as it is just now, you'll have the trophy as well. The physical
that would be
trophy.
Lovely. Yeah, that's an amazing trophy. And shout out to, I forget his name now actually.
Jackie Van Eck.
Jackie, yeah, that's it. Jackie. Fair play for that. That looks amazing. So if we do get that, I'll definitely post some pictures, and really thankful for that.
That'd be great to see.
Yeah, it looks really good. Well, I'll leave you to your duties, mate, and I'll pop back if you need us at some point.
Yeah, we'll maybe get you back on towards the tail end when I'm struggling and the beers have kicked in.
Oh, mate.
So, yep, just jump in whenever you've got a second if you want to.
Yeah, no worries. I'll send Sean as well. He's always good for fun comments. But
yeah, well, good luck with the rest of the race. Take care.
Yeah, thanks very much, mate. See ya.
Cheers. Bye. That was Ben there for SPR, the 128 Bentley. We were just behind these two, and I'll be honest, I do not want to leave these two, because they are fighting their socks off, and that Audi is so quick on corner entry. And these two are fighting each other and still managing to pull away from third. We'll just quickly run through this order. I think the FRL admin team's got back in front of Super Hutch Racing and beginning to open up a little bit of a gap. Iron Brew Racing up into P11. African Thunder in 12th. Van Eck, as we heard there, created the trophy for this season. Great job by them. Shout out to them for doing so. It's a fantastic gesture, and we look forward to see the photographs of it posted by Formula Racing League. And we've got two cars very close on battle here. This is for position, and they touch. Oh, they've made contact. Oh no! I mean, that looked a little bit like a push to pass. Meant to remain impartial, but I call it as I see it. Christensen in Flybo Racing. That Mercedes is very slow out of that important corner. That Ferrari is very quick in a straight line. McCutcheon now back in the T1 SR car behind them, looks very interested in this battle as they go side by side into Blanchimont. The move made, they both run a little bit over the white line, but they both did it, so that move should stick. And that Mercedes very close on the brakes. McCutcheon now very interested in these two losing time fighting each other. That's allowed the T1 SR Aston Martin back into fighting position. All three of these now fighting close together. McCutcheon in the wars at the start of their first stint. What a race. Let's quickly jump back up to the leaders because they're still in the same position within half a second of each other. They're coming through this fast section of track now into Blanchimont. Apex missed by the McLaren at front. And it's such a testament to these two that after over 90 minutes of racing, they are still fighting each other, still within a second. Iron Brew Racing, Mr. Gedman just moving out of the way of the runners coming through, letting one of them through. Now he's taking the racing line there, he has let them through, there's no fighting. Not really sure what else he could do there other than violently cut out across the track. Hopefully that's been enough for those two. Got Sean there through the bus stop, making those apexes nicely. I've driven that Bentley and it rides those curbs like a dream. It's almost as if that Bentley was designed to take those curbs and not the actual track. And Papa Salva Czech Console Racing did a fantastic job as well in the Aston Martin. Good showing from the FRL admin team there in P8. Coming round the Fangio chicane. Bit of a gap there back as we see more area coming through the Pujon corner. Oh no, the front two have made contact and they've spun around. What's going to happen? We just missed that one, unfortunately. But that has meant High Octane Racing have taken the lead. They've taken the lead off the final round of the ESSA28 Endurance Team Series. Oh, they've made, I cannot believe that happened. We just caught that in the corner as we watched Gedman. It's been building for several laps now. That's allowed Gedman back through. The stewards might have something to say about that one. It's for the lead. It was coming out of the corner with no name. They got together. We don't know what happened. We'll need to see what happened there. They both now might be running with damage, and that might even bring Cool back into play. As Gedman now got out of the way of Buchta. Oh man. They got together, it was close. They got together on track. Contact was made. We just caught the tail end of it. It's difficult to tell if one driver was at fault or not. We'll need to see how that one goes. But let's go back now to car number 16. It looks like they're in the middle of a pretty good battle here. We've got McCutcheon, Zeich and Christensen all close together on track. Finbo Racing, Virtual Racing League and the T1 SR car, the 778 Aston Martin, all close together. Anderson, it looks like, has taken over that Mercedes again in the other T1 SR car. What a race. Well, we're just coming in there to 3:45 server time. The track temperature is getting a little bit cooler. We've seen the temperature come down. So this temperature coming in as the sun begins to set around this legendary track is something that these drivers will have to contend with, as well as the low sun. Now that Aston Martin looks very quick in the straight line. It's not normally known to be a quick car, but it's looking quick. They're behind that Mercedes in the hands of Mr. McCutcheon, the Flying Scotsman. So let's have a quick look up at the front there. Doesn't look like they're carrying too much damage. The McLaren behind came off worse with pointing the wrong way. And that Bentley has really closed up the gap now. Six seconds to second. They said they thought they were going to finish third today. Mr. Gedman very likely got the best view of the house of what happened. I would like to maybe speak to them later on and find out what exactly happened. Hopefully they've got a recording of it actually. Christensen in Finbo Racing have had an eventful race, and we'll just quickly follow quick behind. We've got Zick and McCutcheon side by side through this lightning fast section of track into Blanchimont. Surely not. Danny McCutcheon up the inside. There's a slight contact there. I don't know. I think the corner may have been theirs. That looked like a move that was done, but I don't think Virtual Racing League will have the same opinion, because there was contact. It wasn't a completely squeaky clean move, but that's moved McCutcheon up into P14, allowing them to now chase down Christensen. Looks like McCutcheon's got the pace as well. So we'll see how that one works out. Springbok Gamer coming round the bottom of the track there. Very consistent performance from the African Thunder car, the 21 BMW. They've got another car in the pit lane there. Anderson, the 242 T1 SL car, back in the pits again. This is the fourth time they've been in that pit lane today. Two cars running very closely there for position. No, not for position. It's two Audis running close together. Yakinen back in the Audi, the 909 car. French connection car running down there in P17. I think Arsenio is going to run the first 2 hours and then hand over to the smoking Frenchman, Mr. Friedman, to take over for the final half of the race. That looks to be how they're playing their strategy out. Looks like McCutcheon has pulled away from Virtual Racing League and now on the back of Finbo Racing. We've got the two yellowish cars in existence fighting each other on track, and I think maybe we stick with this one just for a couple of laps. McCutcheon just really squeezing out every inch off this fantastic strip of tarmac in the Belgian countryside. Did everything they can to close that gap to Christensen, who is absolutely flying now in that Ferrari. I mean, they've really battled their way through back after being in the wall 2 laps out of 2. The interesting one to watch here though is the battle for second, because we have now got this Bentley, the 128 Bentley is now moved within 5 seconds of Franca as they've overtaken Springbok Gamer, overtaken Classen, sorry, through the bus stop chicane. That's cost them a bit of time. That 242 from Anderson still in the pit lane. I don't know what's happened there. See if I can find out if they're still in the race. See what we can find out with that one. But they're now 4 laps down. That might be it for them, because there could be a driving time restriction there. French Connection, not had the best of races so far. See if we can see what lap times they're running. Only got the free practice times. So this is the leader here, running a little bit wide there, a little bit of a mistake there. Let's come on board actually with somebody. Who's battling close? Let's come on board with McCutcheon as he drives the Aston Martin through El Rouge over the hull at Radion. What a corner. I've got the leader out there now. 4 laps, still maintaining that 5-second gap as they wind their way through the traffic. We've got the French Connection there in behind. Now this could get tasty. I know they're lap, but the French Connection will be on fresh tyres and they will be wanting to make as much ground up as possible. And that's the French Connection just being let through there by Sean Cool. Again, blue flags out, but I think they're going to let through French Connections if they see if they can pull away. They are 2 laps down. They're not battling today. Yes, they're battling for the championship. I think that ship may have now sailed, but you never know. We never know what can happen in these situations. It's a long race still. We've still got over half of the race to go. Somehow we've got over half of the race to go. Not sure how I'm going to last. But I think now, if we look closely, we have got a battle developing between Iron Brew Racing and African Thunder for P11. Because these two are very close on track. and now the French connection's a lap down. So again, they're coming to try and unlap themselves. So we'll see what happens with this one. This is an interesting situation here because that BMW has got absolutely no obligation to get out of the way of the red Mercedes. But I think the red Mercedes is going to try and force the issue. And to complicate things. Oh guys, that's very close. Come on, you guys don't need to be making contact. Hopefully Klassen realises that this... Nope. Again, there's no obligation here for the BMW to move, but I think in that position, I would let these two go, because we are in one hell of a situation now as the Bentley moves back over. Audi. Oh guys, oh this is so tasty. Arsenio will not be too thrilled with the driving of Klassen. Again, no obligation to let them past. They're over a lap behind. But that red Mercedes is certainly the faster car at this point of the race. And you've got to question the wisdom of keeping them there. Maybe they're thinking the long game. Maybe they're thinking 2 hours down the line, this could be a problem for me. Oh, and Pouhon thinks about it, pulls out. The 228 car pulls out. Arsenio's very experienced. They'll need to use all of that to get around. I think Klassen still going to fight this one into the Fangio chicane, but lets it go. And I think that will be the wisest thing for Klassen to do, because this is a long race. There's no point risking that damage. And you've got to remember that Mr. Genman up ahead in the Audi will need to concede for both of these potentially both of these drivers as well, and that could open the door for a potential overtaking move. We've got another car moving into the pit lane. We've got the number 68 car, Popisel, for Czech Console Racing Team. The Aston Martin in now into the pits. I think we have word from Turn 1 Sim Racing that Anderson, the T1SR 242 car, is out of the race. There's an issue with their second driver, unable to connect, and therefore they will exceed the maximum driving time per driver and will end up with a disqualification. So I think they've just parked it in the pit lane for this evening. McCutcheon, who gave us some interesting situations before, now very close to the back. Oh, and they're so close. McCutcheon saves the contact. The rear just stepping out under braking as he tries to avoid the crash. That Aston Martin is supreme on the brakes. That's the advantage there, because the Ferrari is going to be faster in a straight line. McCutcheon again, you can see the difference that Aston Martin has on the brakes. That Aston Martin is very good on the brakes. That Ferrari just pulls away on the straight, using its straight line speed. And we've got the Virtual Racing lead car getting very interested in behind them. I think we have Czech Console Racing. Nope, who's it behind them there? Who's the car behind the 21 car? Like Klassen? No, like Gedman? But now Gedman and Klassen very close on track. Two battles they're developing. Klassen pulling up on the Audi. The BMW closing in on the Audi there of Iron Brew Racing. Finvo Racing under pressure from the T1 SR car, the last remaining T1 SR car left in. These guys fighting for position, I think they might be. This one's close as well. A lot of close battles going on just now. These two, look at this. Look at this. This is what we wanted. These pictures do not tell the story. This is the pictures we wanted, but we did not want the red car a couple of laps down. It is unfortunate, but let's quickly jump back to these two, because these two are getting very close. And German just trying to break the toe down the long back straight. That BMW is epic on the brakes. It may have braked a little bit too late. Klassen, the African Thunder car, may have just missed the braking point while putting the pressure on. Let's move on to back to McCutcheon and Christensen as they now battle each other around the bus stop chicane. I'm sure we've got another battle just behind us developing here as well. Don't know what is going on here. We've got cars getting lapped, not moving out of the way. Where's that? Hopefully there's no contact. Do not make contact. That car is lapping you. We've got a 242, a drive-through for track limits that goes from bad to worse for Anderson in the T1 SR car. I don't think they're going to be in the best of moods. Parrish is putting in a fantastic stint here. And the car in front's just run a little bit wide. That's going to open the door for Parrish as they come round the Fangio chicane into this corner at the bottom of the track. Very important corner for the run up the hill. The BMW doesn't quite make the apex, but this is the important one. They hit the apex here and get the exit, they will be absolutely flying. They'll get the slipstream. That looks like a move up ahead as well. Czech console racing being overtaken. Ferrari runs a little bit wide. Look at that BMW closing the gap now. It's going to obviously think about it on the brakes as they pull up to the inside of the bus stop chicane. This is fourth position. And the Ferrari is still there. They'll need to leave racing room. Great driving by these two. Fantastic. That is an absolute example to the rest of the field. How to drive side by side. That was fantastic driving. Good job, guys. Anderson now clears the drive-through penalty. That's going to bring Anderson out. Multiple laps down now, but fair play for still going. This Audi now all the way out in front. Getting the job done. The McLaren in P2. 8 seconds now the gap. He was right, they don't quite have the pace. They'll be thinking about a driver change fairly shortly. Tell you what, these guys here, 4th, 5th and 6th, they have been quiet, but they have been lapping around here at a fantastically consistent pace, and it has rewarded them with 4th, 5th and 6th. Robinson there in P7 going round El Rouge. Look at that, that's an example of how to drive, and just in front of them now, they're coming to lap. Coming to lap McCutcheon and Christensen, but we are now joining this battle between Gedman and Klassen, Iron Brew Racing and African Thunder. Scotland versus South Africa, the 204 Audi defending against the 21 BMW. Less than half a second, that BMW is going to get the slipstream all the way down this back straight through this fast left-hander as they approach Blanchimont at nearly 160 miles per hour. Look at the speed difference as they close. The Audi takes defensive positioning. The Audi is late on the brakes. The BMW, as late as it goes, the Audi runs a little bit deep. The inside line's where you want to be coming out there. Claims the apex. Great defending from the Iron Brew Racing car. But again, They're going to have to do it all again now. As they come through La Source, and the Audi's locked its brakes and went deep. That's going to allow African Thunder car, the 21 car, through. Position gain. Klassen up to 10th. But let's just stick with it, because I know from personal experience driving that Audi, it is one of the fastest cars, the fastest GT cars in a straight line. German ran a little bit wide there, but they're going to keep that foot planted to the floor as they get the slipstream down the Kennel Straight. Look at the straight line speed of these two. Klassen takes the inside, German on the left. Klassen has run deep and run it off the track. That's going to allow the Audi back through again. That's fantastic racing here. This is one of the most exciting battles on track, but we've got the number 6 car of Vic. It looks like they've had a major accident there in El Rouge. That car has taken one heck of a hit. Look at it go. They'll need to be careful as the car goes through there. Not sure which car that was. That's a 415. That was 6th place, 1 second slower. But a minute faster a lap around the track off Crocati Racing Team just now with the car in that condition. Anderson back in the pits. I think that's a towel now being thrown in. Let's quickly rejoin these two now as McCutcheon all over the back again of that Ferrari, but the straight line speed of that Ferrari is just absolutely rapid down the straight. McCutcheon thinks about it, lets that Ferrari know that he is still there, and the driver tracker is not yet updated because Gedman is now back in front of Klassen. Atty Klassen now really closing the gap, and what's going on with that T1 SR car? Another drive-through penalty for speeding in the pit lane. What can we do, guys? Got to watch that speed as Gedman goes deep into the bus stop again, claims that apex, but I don't think they were close enough for that tactic to work this time. That BMW is very quick. It's got a lot of power, that BMW, to get that big chassis out of the corners. Gedman still takes the inside line, and that's going to compromise him on exit. And I'm so glad we stuck with this. It looks like C Knights found their way back into that T1 SR car. Hopefully they can continue on, and we'll join them for a couple of sections on track in a second, but I do not want to leave this battle while we still have it on the screen, because what a battle it's been. Gedman now pulls out to the inside, defensive into the com. Looks like Hutchinson, looks like Super Hutch Racing has maybe had an accident, because they've not dropping down the order. Maybe they've came out the pit lane. Maybe they've pitted another little tyre change. Get in that pit lane. Your car is wrecked. Get in there. Get that car fixed. Get back out. Good job, guys. Well done for taking that one back to the pit lane. Good job. Christensen's died in the pit lane. That's released McCutcheon. McCutcheon did seem to have the pace, so we'll see how that one works out. Czech Conservation now closing in on these two. We've got a lot of cars now in the pit lane. We've got Massa, Betts, Predator Racing Team, 4th, 5th, 6th and 7th now all dived into the pit lane. We've got the Bentley now up into 2nd. The leaders have pitted, that's what's happened, and there comes 2nd place car Frinka now through into the pit lane. That's going to allow the French Connection to take a lap back. French Connection have got back in front of that Bentley, but this, I really, again, we're missing all of the action because these two are fighting each other tooth and nail. Gedman again taking that defensive line. That BMW is so good on the brakes. I think they're both going to go in the pit. No, what that was there was African Thunder car doing the opposite to Iron Brew Racing. Gedman coming into the pit lane, getting the car stopped in time. So let's see what happens here as SBR for ESSA28 takes the lead and will lead a lap off the final round of the ESSA28 driver swap endurance series. And there's just something poetic about that for Chris Jones. And that's now officially one lap led for the ESSA28 car. I hope you appreciate the silence there as we watch the car complete the lead lap. So let's review what's happened here then. High Octane Racing. The Audis came out 25 seconds in front of FRL Racing after the second round of pit stops. We have got Team M&M with a driver change there, 1 second slower, up into P5th. African Thunder yet to make the second pit stop, but Klassen driving the wheels off that BMW, frankly. Conway now under pressure from Czech Console Racing. Let's stick with this one as they come through El Rouge. Both drivers flawless through there. Complete use of track limits from the Czech Console Racing car. Aston not fast enough in a straight line. Take advantage of that. Great driving from Conway. Nice and smooth through El Rouge, that's the way to do it. As we now watch Van der Wel in the Super Hud Racing car. Looking to make the catch up. McCutcheon with a fantastic recovery stint up and now into P10. We'll need to see how this one ends up. And that Predator Racing team looks like they've taken one hell of a shunt. The front of that car is absolutely trashed. So we'll need to see what happens with them. Edwards has taken back over Iron Brew Racing from Gedman. So we'll keep an eye on African Thunder when they pit, see when they come out. Nyakinen only a couple of seconds behind for Team Finnith. Arsenio still driving that French Connection car, over 2 hours now. Jorgensen under pressure. No, there's not for position. I look at the African Thunder car. That Mercedes has had a torrid time. They were running in third. Looks like they've maybe had an issue. Colcati Racing Team, that Audi now looks like it's fixed and back on track. Great job from their team there. Jamie Rees back in the fresh sim racing car. That's what we want to see. The fresh Jinx. And I am personally glad to see Chris Knight back in that car after a hiatus from Formula Racing League. Went into some driver training, got the way back in their second race back, had some connection issues. It's not been fair. Completed the drive through. They're 10 laps down, and I think just for his benefit, I'm really, really glad that they're able to continue driving, because the man has some pace, and I would love to see what he can do on the track. Still got the Bentley, the 128 car, out in front. They'll be due a pit stop soon, I think. I don't know, maybe they're trying something different with the strategy. We'll see how that one plays out. These two separated now by pretty much the entire length of the Kennel Straight. So who's close on track? These two look to be the closest on track. The FRL admin team in the Liqui Moly BMW under pressure from the Aston Martin of the Czech Console Racing. And look at that, they're coming now to the back of a lapped car. That is the African Thunder car. We've seen them earlier on with lapped cars. This is not a lapped car, however. This is Klassen again, defending his position, which he is perfectly entitled to do. He's a pit stop extra. He's got one more pit stop to do, but that has held up Conway, and that's opened the door for Postal to have a consideration down the inside there. As African Thunder now goes in the pit lane, we'll see if they can stay in front of Iron Brew Racing, and that's unleashed these two, and I'm pretty sure that that Liqui Moly BMW will be glad to see that other one go. Oh, the Aston thinks about it down the inside. The garage 56, 59. I can't see it upside down, I can't read that. The 68 car. Little bit of a gap now being pulled out there. But the slipstream is very powerful. That big BMW punching a big hole in the air. A vacuum. Oh, that's two changes of direction. We're all allowed to go back to the racing line, to be fair. It looked a little bit aggressive. Let's see where Edwards can come out. Let's just follow these guys and see what they do, because we've got a couple of fast cars coming through here. We'll see if the African Thunder car can stay ahead. And they've just stopped in the pit stop now, so that'll be 30 seconds from now. As we watch Iron Brew Racing, and they're coming down the back straight, that 204 Audi. Very quick in a straight line. Through Blanchimont. That looks fantastic through there. Now hard on the brakes into the bus stop chicane. I don't know why they call it the bus stop anymore, it is just a chicane. Foot now on the throttle. Edwards putting the pressure on. African Thunder just leaving that pit lane now. And they've just crossed the speed limiter line, so they'll be slow going up through El Rouge. But I think that move has been done. Don't know if maybe the Iron Brew Racing car had some damage to fix potentially. We see it there just in front of us. Just a little bit in front. And I think in that round of pit stops goes to African Thunder. Now the African Thunder car tyres will be a little bit cold. They'll need to get them back up to temperature, and Veermack will have that job to do. Whereas Edwards has had a couple of laps now, back in the groove. Will be a little bit faster for the next few laps, but we've got a couple of cars now in the pit lane. Arsenio in that Mercedes, that red Mercedes, is now back in the pit lane. Let's hope this one is a scheduled stop. We've also got Predator racing team there in the pits, 4 laps down. Hopefully they've not thrown in the towel for this evening. There goes the 52 car, Van der Waal, Super Hutch Racing. Another lap on the red Mercedes. There goes the leaders. I hope this is a scheduled change. We'll see if we see Friedman, Mr. Friedman, in that car. We'll know what the scheduled change. McCutcheon still out there. What a long stint these guys, this guy is doing. The Flying Scot, absolutely flying. Doing a fantastic stint. Didn't have the best opening stint, but has really worked hard on this one. The car was passed over to Berryman, who put in a great recovery, and McCutcheon's taken over and just been absolutely relentless with their pace. In the car you can see 4 miles away. These two still fighting very closely together. Conway of the Formula Racing League admin team, Postel of Czech Console Racing putting the pressure on. These two have been bumper to bumper almost for the last 6 or 7 laps. Nothing between them. They always get very close through the bus stop. It always surprises me just how much closer you get in a tight braking zone like that. There we go. We've got Friedman now taking over that red Mercedes, the French Connection car, the 208. And we'll see what they can do in his hands, the smoking Frenchman. Just getting into the groove, into the feel of the track. Temperature now dropped. We've just passed 4 o'clock now, server time. 1 minute 45 to go. Well, this is an interesting one because the Bentley in the hands of Ben has closed within a couple of seconds of VRL Racing. The gap 5.1 seconds. As close as they've been at any point off the race. Car number 6, it looked like, was off the track there, but they came round the corner with no name. Bit of an instant full corner down there today. We'll see if Conway can get through this Audi without much issue. They do. That's brought the Czech racing team closer again. Hi Lewis, solid stint from the FRL admin team, 100%. Great stint. Great stint. Conway's doing a great job there keeping Czech Console Racing behind. It's a very close battle. Probably the closest battle we've got on track just now. The Aston looks very good on the brakes, so hopefully we'll see the BMW have some nice fast quick speed on these long straights, and we'll see a close battle within these two, for these two for the 6th place. Bit high on the curb there for the leader, a rare mistake. Gap now 30 seconds. Belleman is absolutely rapid around here in the high octane racing car, the number 3 Audi. That French Connection car still in front of the 128 Bentley. almost makes you wish that the two were fighting for position, because of what a challenge that would be. Well, that's interesting. 3 track warnings for the FRL admin team. We will not be the first team to receive a penalty this evening. The other team that was receiving penalties for track limits has now, it looks like, retired. It looks like Knight just cannot get the connection. See Knight in the 242 Mercedes, and they're not in the server. Hopefully they can come back and get some laps in and finish the race, but we'll see how it goes for them. The rest of T1SR's hopes rest on McCutcheon, who has put in a cracking stint just now. They've been on the track for quite some time. We'll wait to see Berryman come out, I think, and finish the race. Not seeing a lot from Team M&M again. They've been very quiet, making their way around the track, and been very consistent. Been good driving, but let's come on board with these two as I take a short break. Hello everyone, thank you for your patience there. We are now back watching, still with this battle, but I am going to quickly switch to these two as we just see Iron Brew Racing in the hands of Edwards overtake African Thunder. Veermack not able to stave off the charge. Moved on into Lacombe. Let's see, can they just stick with him? I don't think they can. I think that's what moves a done deal. So watch the leader now coming over to lap the FRL admin team. Trees getting in the way, someone cut them down. Blue flag's being shown, the FRL admin team knows the situation, they wrote the rule book, they move over for the leaders. That's great racing etiquette. And we see just how closely matched these two are for pace. We have the 128 Bentley, the current championship leaders, in third place. The French Connection, second in the championship, all the way down in 16th after a nightmare start. A crash just at the corner we've just passed at Radillon, and another incident at Blanchimont, pretty much ruining their race with a drive-through penalty in there for good measure. Flybo Racing has entered the pit lane. That looks like maybe their third stop. Jorgensen's now back in the car. It'll be interesting to see what they can do when McCutcheon eventually comes to pit, and they've got a BMW in front of them, the Rowe Motorsports, the 108 of Jamie Rees, fresh jinx, in front of them. This is not for position. We'll see if Rees moves out of the way. Rees not taking the racing line, that's bold, and they should be very careful when doing that, guys. I see what they were thinking, but that's not the way. Let the position go, do it here, that's it. Come out of this corner, upshift early and let the Aston go. That will be the safest way to do it. There we go, great driving. Good job, guys. Let's see now, we've got the African Thunder there, and it looks like we've got Jorgensen a lap down. Just making that pursuit. Conway eking out the gap. A great couple of hours for them, the FRL admin team, who have really pushed on. Some consistent laps, really showing the difference of consistency, how much that can help you in a long, grueling race like this. McCutcheon now into the pits in the T1 SR Aston Martin. That's going to allow a couple of these guys through. I think it's going to come up behind these two, African Thunder and Iron Brew Racing. The battle here could be with Nyakanen. In the other Audi. Oh, they're quite far ahead. Friedman in the French Connection car will do what they can to get that car moving, but it looks like it's a mistake-free evening for the front three. The front three, I say mistake-free evening. We've seen an incident between the front two. That gap doesn't seem to be closing anytime soon. The front three just showing an incredible amount of pace tonight. Milden in that 128 Bentley, absolutely flying. Miulka doing a great job as well, up into P5 now in the 1 second slower BMW. Postal just now losing touch a little bit with the FRL admin team. But Super Hutch Racing doing well to keep just a little bit in touch. Iron Brew Racing not able to pull away from Wehrmacht. And I think Finnith has came out well in front of McCutcheon, who's not swapped driver. That's interesting. Could be a little splash and dash, I think, for Mr. McCutcheon. He came out in front of Friedman, who is making that Mercedes dance through that last chicane there. Who have we not seen much of today? Team M&M. Let's stay on board with these guys. Let's see how they're driving this evening. That's fine, pal. Where are they? There we go, Team M&M. Let's come on board. Let's see how they're driving this car, because it looks like they've been doing a fantastic job. Consistent laps. Into Puhon. That's not Puhon, sorry, my apologies. Come through the corner with no name. Just clipping the apex, running all the way over the curbs. I'm going to take you on a quick lap here. Now this is Puhon, double apex left-hander, touch the curb on the left. Get full control of the car, let the car run out to the right. On the brakes just as you go under the gantry there, just kissing that curb on the left. Take a lot of curb on the side there, there we go, run over there. Late apex into here, use all of the rubber strips on the left hand side. You want to kiss that curb just to get the car rotated round onto the back straight, a very important corner. Up through the gears now, up into fifth. Through this long left into Blanchimont. Are we flat out? Flat out through Blanchimont. Rave stuff on the BMW. Hard on the brakes now into the bus stop. Over that curb well. On the throttle, little bit of oversteer. Held the exit and across the line to complete a lap. 2 minutes 20 and 57. He's letting the Bentley through there. Come on board with the French connection. And they're currently lapping in the 2:19s. What a time they're running. They come through the corner with long name. Really seeing some fantastic driving all around tonight. There's a lot of pace here. A little bit of understeer. Through Puhon. Early turning for the Fangio chicane. You see, not quite taking as much curb. A lot of there, all the possible track space, getting the car rotated nicely onto the back straight. This AMG engine revving up to 7,500 revs, up through the gears, up into fifth. Are we going to see sixth before Blanchimont? Nope. There we are, flat out, upshift into sixth. Just enough to stop the speed off, hard onto the brakes. For the bus stop chicane. And across the line, what have we done here? 220 flat. Hard on the brakes into La Source. These guys kiss that curb on the inside as well. Run it over to the left and let the yellow sausage curb just balance the car on the exit. And watch them now through El Rouge. Up over the hull into Radion. Very nicely done. Now a 10th up on the previous lap time. So we can see there's a lot of talent here tonight. Everyone driving exceptionally well, I must admit. Watching the leader now come up to lap the 7th place car, Czech Console Racing. Gets them through nicely. Not taking up too much time. Let's see how this Bentley's doing. We're still 9 seconds now behind the McLaren. I think that they were right on their assessment of their pace. Don't think they've got the pace for the top two this evening. But again, we've still got a long way to go. 90 minutes to go, 90 minutes of racing. Anything can happen during that time. Super Hutch Racing there in 8th, closing the gap. The Tomcats Motorsport car, 45, doing a fantastic job. I think that looks like a lot of damage on the front there. Hopefully it's not causing them to lose too much time. Iron Brew Racing and African Thunder cannot be separated. Still only a couple of seconds between them. Nyakanen for Finnith in the 909 Audi just behind them. Vondrak, I'm going to attempted that. Please don't shout at me. I've done my best. A yellow car in the wall there. We've got a car in the wall. Yellow flag with 415 car. That is 5th place, 1 second slower, and that's going to allow the FRL admin team through into P5. That's a position gained and a position lost for Miluka. That's unfortunate to see it happen, but the FRL admin team will be thrilled with that turn of events. Postal, it looks like, has dropped off the bar. Maybe they had an incident as well. Let's see what happened there. That's devastating to see, and that's them now being lapped as well. But Postal, I think they have had an accident as well, a little incident, and that's not allowed them to take advantage of the mistake from the 415 BMW. As the leaders have just lapped this lot now, the leader, sorry, has just lapped this lot now. That BMW is potentially carrying a bit of damage. It looks a little bit slower in the straight line as we see the Aston Martin, not normally known for being one of the faster cars, really closing the gap here. Are they going to take it down the inside? No, they hold off. The BMW lets the Aston go. Is that BMW trying to go in the pit lane? It's not, but that's now Berriman trying to unlap himself. Oh, they've not pitted. They're carrying a lot of damage. They've not pitted. I think they might be trying to just maybe get themselves to a point where they can do one stop, one driver change, and that be the final pit stop, because it is a very long pit lane here. But after all of that has happened, 1 second slower, having the accident, that's allowed Postal and Conway through. Czech Console Racing and the FRL admin team up another position, up into the top 5. Let's go back and check on these two. We have got Edwards and Veermack out on track in Iron Brew Racing and African Thunder respectively. There is only a couple of seconds between them. They have been battling together all evening, all night. I don't even want to try and calculate how many minutes it's been now. 150 minutes. These guys have been battling and they're still only a second apart. There's a fantastic level of talent throughout the field tonight, and I just want to give a shout out to every single person who has contributed to this series tonight and over the past couple of months. The season has been put out and named, obviously, for a very good cause, and everyone here has contributed, and I think everyone needs to give themselves a pat on the back. But this is not an easy thing to do. 4 hours around this epic track, along with the 3-hour races around Imola, Donington and Bathurst. Well done, everyone. Just got to take a drink of my iron brew. Not biased at all in any way, shape or form. Now if you're watching this, guys and girls, if you're watching this and you're thinking this is something that I want to get involved with, please keep an eye on the simgrid.com, follow Formula Racing League. All their events will be posted on there, and if you want to join, keep an eye on that, because we do have an 8-hour endurance race around the legendary Brickyard, Indianapolis, the home of motor racing in America, coming up in July. And later on in the year we're going to have a 12-hour race as well, a driver swap race. So get your friends together, get a team put in, keep an eye out for it. And in the meantime, if you are interested in sim racing with Formula Racing League, again, all of their championships and races are available on the simgrid.com. I think you'll agree with myself, the standard of racing tonight has been absolutely fantastic. This is still the closest battle on track. So watching Vermac pile the pressure on to Edwards, the Iron Brew racing car. Postal there, I think we've got Berryman trying to unlap themselves. I've got about half a lap on the French connection, but they'll still be interested in making that one stick. There we go. The Czech connection realising they're maybe not the faster car in this situation, and thinking of the long game. No need to keep that car that desperately wants pass behind. A little bit of a gap now growing between these two. Hope that they can stick together to give us some action. Let's come on board with Conway. Let's see how they're getting on. Because that car had some damage earlier on, and since that damage has been repaired, they have been absolutely flying up now into P5. We've had an overtaking move back there. 1 second slower, back now in P12. Has that car been fixed yet? Have they been through the pit lane? Because that's Niakanen now in front. I think that car's been in the pits and been repaired. By the looks of things, the front does not look to be in the condition it was earlier on. So that's them now out from 5th place all the way back in 12th. And that is what an extra pit stop costs you at Spa. The longest pit lane in the championship. But they had the pace, so it will be interesting to watch them fight their way back through the pack. So Bellarmine in High Octane Racing still absolutely flying here. 67 laps gone. Seven epic laps. FRL Racing just hanging on in. What's this? Are you on comms for the 24-hour race? No? I hope not. I'll do a stint. I'll absolutely take a stint. But I would much rather do a couple of stints driving. I will be driving in the Indianapolis 8-hour race coming up in July. I'll be taking over one of the T1 SR cars, and I'll be doing a stint on the commentary booth as well. So I'll do my very best to remain impartial during that one. Thanks for the comment, Stevie. Hopefully we'll see you get your wheel set up and get you back on ACC soon. Let's have a quick look through the championship because it's going to get a little bit interesting, I think, for third, because Super Hutch Racing, currently running 7th, is third in the championship on 162 points. The FRL admin team are 4th in the championship on 148 points. Czech Console Racing are 5th on 144 points, only 4 points behind. And then FRL Racing are up there as well. They're on 138 points. It's all very, it's all very close here for the final stages of the championship. I don't have the mental capacity to work this out as it stands with who is going to be where. But what I do have the mental capacity to do is to have a look at these battles here, because we have got Malika 1 second slower catching up on Niakanen, and we have Vermaak putting the pressure on Edwards. Now within half a second as they come through El Rouge. There's been a couple of mistakes happened there. The leader looks like they are battling their way through traffic. Gap just opens up the second I go to watch it. Predator Racing team still running there. Fair play, Fresh Jinx, Fresh Sim Racing, Jamie Rees. That car looks a handful, doesn't it? Back end stepping out as they go through the Fangio chicane. Are they the puncher? That car looks like it's had a puncher at the front wheel. Let's have a closer look there. Need to see the other side of the car. Don't think we're going to get a chance. Nah, it looks fine, it looks fine. Pace is okay. And that car does have the speed, so we'll need to see them coming through the gap there. Vortel in the VRL racing car still refusing to give up, and I don't think they should, but Bellarmine's pace has just been absolutely relentless. Now for nearly 3 hours straight, Ben Milden putting in one hell of a stint as well in the 128 Bentley. They've been in the car for a while now. B23 BMW, again, being very quiet, but the last time I said this, I put one with the commentators cursing the wall, so I'm going to keep moving through the field. I'm sure they'll appreciate that one. Postel coming to lap that Ferrari there of Finbo Racing Christensen. Berryman keeping pace, keeping the gap with the French connection. It's still 21 seconds behind the pink Mercedes, who looks like they were a little bit out of shape there. As the leaders coming through to lap them, they were in P3 at one point. And this will not feel good as we've got Niakanen into the pit lane. Such a long pit lane here at Spa, isn't it? It just goes on and on and on and on and on and on. There's Berryman gone through. Are we going to see? We'll see Friedman go through as well. that's going to cost them a position. But Christensen is nearly a lap behind. These two are putting on a show for us this evening. As we come a little bit later on now. As we nearly hit 5 o'clock server time. These two are honestly providing so much entertainment this evening. I've raced with everyone in all the in the Iron Brew racing car and the African Thunder car. They're all very good drivers. We're watching Berryman as well. Really putting the pace on there. They're 2 laps behind, 23 seconds behind Virtual Racing League. We'll keep an eye on that gap as well. And 1 second slower has been released because Nyakinen has pitted. Just went back out there. I think Van Eyck will be coming back in to finish the race off. They've came with quite a big gap to Christensen. And a big gap in front of them to Friedman. So Berryman taking advantage of McCutcheon's epic stint. These two have been working very well as a team for the past few races now. The Virtual Racing League car, the pink Mercedes there, running very well too. These two I think are just toying with each other now, aren't they? I think we've had a pit stop there, the leader's in the pits. So we're going to have a change for the lead. We have, Vortel's went through, Milden's went through, the BMW going through now. Bellarmine, the high octane racing car, still in the pit lane, not moving, they're stationary. I hope this is a standard pit stop for them. And they're not yet, that's them moving now. I think that's going to allow the BMW through though, is it? It's going to be close. Are they going to drop to 4th? And again, this is 4th position. They're very close to each other, 4th position. Just been told there by Robinson that the number 3 car has been disconnected. The leader disconnected. Oh, no way. Absolute flawless race. And through no fault of their own. Issues arising all down the field. The leader's having issues. The T1 SRD car or C car, I don't know which one it was, 242 Mercedes having connection issues. It does happen in racing, you have accidents with your issues with your hardware, and it will be very interesting with their pace to see just where they now finish. But that's opened this race wide open now. Vortel and that McLaren will be pushing very hard. That's moved the SBR car up into P2 now. So again, interesting to see if they can keep P2. Don't think it affects much others around them. It's the gap there, a bit of a gap there. Is that... Oh, they're running so close together now as well. That will be absolutely devastating for them. They've put in a near flawless performance. We'll just see what happens. Do they let them go? Every right not to let that car, not to let that McLaren, that Audi past. I don't think they're going to have much say in the matter because that Audi is just so quick in the hands of Bellyman, not Berryman. Get my diction right there. Red lorry, yellow lorry. Let's jump on here. We've got Edwards and Wehrmacht, the African Thunder car, keeping in touch. The real winners there, I don't know if they'll be happy with it or they'll be disappointed that it's been given to them that way. But mechanical issues are a thing in real racing. It does impact sim racing as well. These two are very close on track now. Jump on with these two as we watch them through the main straight now, down the hill. This one could get particularly tasty. Oh, they've cut the corner. I don't know if that's a move that will be allowed to stay if it works, because they've cut the corner, increased their speed. Vondrijk putting the pressure on, but that Mercedes just not fast enough in the straight line, but it is very stable over the curbs. As we're watching it now all over the back of the BMW, they're so close, almost pushing the BMW round the corner, round Lecombe. The BMW moves over out of the way, lets it go, but I mean, very aggressive driving, but we'll need to again see just how the stewards deal with these kinds of incidents. That's Berryman now closing up to the back of Christensen of Flyboy Racing. This one's not for position, so we'll hopefully see the Aston driver get past soon and not lose too much time. So let's just, over the last 10 minutes, the race has been blown wide open as this car, the number 3 Audi, disconnected from the lobby, from the lead, 30 seconds in the lead. They have managed to rejoin, thankfully, but they've got some way to go. Oh, they've lost it! They've lost the car on the exit! Oh no! It's not, it's gone from bad to worse. For high octane racing, they've lost the car on the exit of Rivage. Just on the entrance to the corner with no name, the back end just spun round. And they've lost another position. Oh no! Now down, I think, into P8. Oh, went from bad to worse for them. Super Hutch Racing up into 6th. Czech Console Racing dropped behind the FRL admin team now, but still going strong up there in P5. Conway driving that team forward. What a drive from them. And Robinson, what a fantastic drive these two have had. Team M&M now making the lap on 1 second slower. Or is it Fresh Sim Racing? It's Fresh Sim Racing. making the lap move done. But we've got that car. .17 a gap between the front two. Got just over an hour left of racing, and if you've stuck with us for all of this, thank you very much. We've had a lot of technical issues this evening and you've been patient with us. Thank you for watching. And you're just joining us for the final hour of this race. Let me just quickly run down what's happened in the past couple of minutes. On the whole race actually. So, the first lap, we've seen this Ferrari. And they're in the wall again! It's the third time they've visited the wall tonight. And I was just about. Oh, the commentator's curse. Oh no. On the exit at the bottom of the hill, on the back straight, in the wall. That's probably going to force another pit stop for them. Bit of a gap there to Predator Racing Team. Maybe get away with it. The leader now coming through to lap them. On the first two laps, this Ferrari was in the wall 2 times, dropped them all the way down the field. Jamie Rees doing a fantastic job keeping the BMW on track, a lap ahead of Kokati Racing Team. Kramer and Majowski both now out of the race, towel thrown in, and we've lost the 242 Mercedes, the T1 SR car with Anderson, due to some connection issues with the second driver, Chris Knight. Up at the front end of the grid, the French Connection car into the wall at the top of Radeon. Right here, had a bit of an issue, lost the view, and they've got a car wide! Who is that? The 45 car, they're quite far up the field I believe. This is now 4th position I believe, no? Have they unlapped themselves maybe? It's an 86 gap. It's now, yes, that was 4th position, the French Connection up into P13. So the French Connection had a bit of an incident into El Rouge Radeon and put it in the wall. They then had to pit and got a drive-through penalty for speeding in the pit lane, and had another incident, I believe, at Blanchimont. They were the challengers for the championship. They were 2nd place coming into this one, and they're now down running in 13th. Bellarmine, High Octane Racing, the number 3 Audi, and Vortel were running almost identical times for the first 2 hours of this race. High Octane Racing up into P5 now after Czech Console Racing and Super Hudge Racing in the pits for what must be now their final pit stop of the day. We've got a car leaving the pit lane, the 68 car. Who is this? It's Czech, yep, the Czech Console Racing car leaving the pit lane. Edwards has went through, as is the African Thunder car. Trying to give you a summary here, but we went to the last hour and everyone now is making the last stops. 1 second slower into the pit, and the FRL admin team also coming in to let Robinson do the final stint of the race. Mihulka into the pit lane now. Rees into the pit lane for Fresh Sim Racing as well, doing the last driver swap. So watch Berryman there going through. So, Bellarmine made the move down the inside of the corner with no name. And it's not because I don't know the name of it, it's because it doesn't have a name. And there was contact between them and Vortel. We just caught the tail end of it. We missed the main part of it. We don't know if there was anyone we needed to, it could be assigned blame, but there was contact. Vortel came out worse. High Octane Racing came out better. And that was that one. And then what's happened is Bellarmine Bellyman has had a disconnection, and that's put them back then into 5th. So I'll have to take a quick break just to catch my breath and get a drink. Hold on there, we're into the climax now. Hello everyone, we are back and we are now in for the run-in to the checkered flag. Milden is out in the lead, but I think we've got a driver change still for them. Franca out there in second place. We've got a couple of cars just to clear some lapped traffic. Bellerman still with the fastest lap. Absolutely flying out there. African Thunder car not yet to pit. The FRL admin team just behind African Thunder. Trick Console Racing keep in touch. Super Hutch Racing trying to close that gap. Berryman there, I think, going to be doing a long final stint in the Aston Martin. Gedman now back in the Iron Brew racing car, and that's the battle we want to see between them and African Thunder. I'm sorry guys, this has just been really fascinating watching what's going on. I wonder if these guys have to pit again. I know these guys do. The tyres must be getting on a bit now, looking a bit second hand. Well, what's happened here? It's not African Thunder out there. They've not pitted yet. African Thunder's leaving it late for their final stop, their final driver change. Tomcats Motorsport running very well there in 10th. Iron Brew Racing, Chris Gedman doing everything they can to keep the speed up, to stay in front of the African Thunder car. Virtual Racing League in 12th. 1 second slower, who was running up in the top 5 at one point, had an accident and now down there in 13th. Jackie Van Eyck back in the Finnith car. The French connection, Friedman in 15th. Christensen in behind them. Berger still running, great showing from them as well. Parrish taking over from Jamie Rees. And Crocati Racing Team, the last of the runners just now. Majewski and Kremer retiring, throwing in the towel earlier on. number 6 car there. Just looks like they maybe lost it on the exit. There, Rouge. Super Hard Racing coming up at the back of them to lap them now. We're now watching Berman just peeling the pit lane. African Thunder, the car now coming out off the pit lane. I think they may have done enough just to stay in front of Gedman. I don't know if the Audi's maybe had an issue somewhere, but the African Thunder car has got one hell of a gap. Yeah, it's a big gap there. hello.
How you doing, mate? How you doing?
Hiya. Hiya, sorry about that.
That's okay,
yeah,
buddy.
I'm doing well. I'll be honest, I'm lagging a bit. How's it going for yourself? How's your race been so far?
Interesting. It's been interesting, yes. I must admit, I had a bit of a bad first stint. I was I didn't crash the car badly twice, but I had two incidents which obviously gave us 18 seconds worth of damage, which kind of like it hampered the pace of the car for about 40 minutes, and we fell back to about P12. Just had no pace at all, really. But over the last 4 hours, mate, we've pulled it back and we're in P5. So yeah,
you guys have done fantastic. Got a little bit lucky, obviously, with a couple of people falling off in front of you, but the pace has been there. It's been relentless. You've done a great job.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, I mean, we're not the quickest of drivers, but we're consistent. You know, so I've been doing sort of high 2-minute 20s, and just just sort of trying to sort of close on that time back over the last sort of 3 hours, mate. So yeah, it's been all right. It's but a bit boring at times. It's not Bathurst, put it that way. You know, so it's a long old track, and sort of, you know, cars have been few and far between to sort of overtake, etc.
Yeah, it's been a bit spread out, but you guys have done, like I said, a fantastic job with the pace. Mega stint you just put in as well. Like, fair play to that one. What do you think? I mean, I'll be honest with you, I'm in my head, I'm trying to work out the championship, and I can't work it out.
No. So our battle. So we were P4 overall coming into this race. P1 and 2 were obviously out of the question.
Yes.
P3 was Super Hutch Racing, but they were quite ahead of us. So I'm not too sure if we'll get a P3. But VRL Racing, who's in P1 at the moment, they're only sort of about 10 points behind us, so I expect to get leapfrogged.
Oh no.
But our other championship contender is Czech Console Racing. So if I'm kind of right, I think we're a P5 overall in the championship. I might be wrong, but that's where I kind of put us, given where everyone else is in the track at the moment, basically.
Good stuff.
How's it been for you? How's it been for yourself, mate? Sort of 4 hours a long time. Have you found the commentary?
I'll be honest, I'm lagging a bit now. I might have an emergency. I may have to leave for, I'll be honest, in the next 10 minutes.
No worries,
but I'm going to leave the stream running.
No worries, no problem.
Hopefully be back in time. It's not been ideal, I know, but unfortunately.
We appreciate it, mate. You've done well. I mean, 4 hours is a long time to sort of keep the viewers happy, isn't it? So, well done, buddy.
Yeah, exactly.
Well done.
Thank you very much. Good luck with the rest of your race.
You too, mate. Thanks, mate. Bye now.
Cheers. Thank you. Bye. That there was Axel Racing from the FRL admin team, who's put in the mega stint. So, you may have heard there, unfortunately I do have a bit of an emergency I do need to go and attend to. I cannot avoid it, unfortunately. I am going to leave this stream running. I may be back in time for the end, I may not. But I will leave it running and I will leave it on for the end of the race. And hopefully we'll get everyone across the line in time. We see the African Thunder still in front of Iron Brew Racing. 1 second slower, closing the gap on them there. McCutcheon there in 12th, Van Eyck in 13th. Friedman up into 14th. Virtual Racing League 15th. So these two were close to each other at the start and they're still close to each other at the other end of the grid at the end. So again, my apologies. I am going to have to go. I am going to leave the camera on these guys just because of their name in the car. Again, the late tragic passing of Chris Jones, known as ESSA28. This championship in their name, the car in their name, and we're just going to now watch the Bentley in the hands of Cool complete the final 35 minutes of this race. Thank you very much for listening to me and putting up with me during this time. Thank you for tuning in to Formula Racing with TV. I'll leave you with a note of the Bentley down Spa. Thank you.
Hey, Gogs.